the Gafarov fight was important for a lot of reasons. I got to really get pushed to my limit because that was a tough fight. Nobody's really pushed me like that before. So I got, to feel what that was like. And, I was confident in myself, but being able to beat somebody that high level, I just knew I was ready. You always think you're ready, you feel ready, but, I kind of just cemented it in my own mind. And I just reminded me of all the things I've been doing, all the hard training. I'm doing it right. I'm not making mistakes. I don't need to switch things up. It's like you're doing the right things because you're beating the right guys.
February 19th, UFC Fight Night, Las Vegas. You step into the cage, to the octagon. Actually, familiar territory because you just fought there, right? In the Contender Series. You're facing off against Jesse Strader. Jesse, he's returning from a decent layoff, a debut loss. When you look at him, what do you see?
I think Jesse's still dangerous. He's very athletic, strong, explosive. Those skills need to be respected. I do think I'm better than him. I think I got better skills. I got better striking. I got better grappling. I'm really going to be relying on those skills because I think he's dangerous. Especially with his athleticism, strength, explosiveness. That's not a joke to me. I'm still going to be training hard and making sure I'm dealing with that properly.
When you look at his debut against Jackson, Montel Jackson, he didn't really get to show too much, right? So do you get anything from that fight?
Honestly, I watched it like once, and it's not even something you can really go off of just because the way the fight went down. All I really kind of watched was how he was going to come out, right off the start, some of the nerves and get an idea of kind of his size and what he looked like in there. But no, I didn't really use that fight for a lot. I watched some of his other fights. And not to death. I just watched him over a couple of times, got an idea of what he's about, move on. Yeah.
When you see a guy like him, and pretty much any guy you prepare for, right? Do fighters evolve that much, over a period of maybe say 3 or 4 fights?
I think they can. I think they can get a lot better. I mean, that's one of the things actually that talking about Jesse is that fight was almost a year ago. He's young. He's athletic. He signed to the UFC. He's got all the things you need to get a lot better quickly. So even that fight he had, he didn't get to show a lot. I'm still really expecting a very capable, dangerous fighter to come in there. So yeah, I'm thinking he got better because I know I have. So.
All right, I want to jump back to the Contender Series for a moment, man. We spoke ahead of that, and everybody knew that was a tough matchup. The guy has a lot of experience, dangerous everywhere. You went in there, you got the win. It almost felt like to me, whoever won the fight, a lot of people put this emphasis on like you have to finish or whatever, but I think the UFC saw this matchup and said, whoever wins this fight is going to get the contract. Did you kind of get that feeling afterwards?
That's actually how I felt going into the fight. Me and my coaches even said the same thing. I thought I was fighting the toughest guy there. So yeah, finishes are important. Fighting well is important, but I was pretty confident winning was enough, even though, it was a split decision win and there's time, other guys go out there and finish their guys. But I still know that I showed more in that split decision win than, jumping in there and whooping on a guy real early. You don't always get the same look. And I was pretty confident because, yeah, I knew that they liked him. I knew that they thought he was good. I knew they thought he was going to win. So just by winning, I was pretty confident that I did what I had to do.
Well, I think they liked you too, man. If you look at your resume, up to that point, you were just crushing everybody. So they figured like whoever comes out on top, they're going to get that contract. They're going to get the UFC signature.
Yeah. It was a big fight, man. But that's what it's about. That's what I want. That was the buildup I wanted. The commitment level is never higher. The drive for me to train and win, and in the fight itself, I mean, that's what it's all about. That's as you get longer in your career, each fight has more and more at stake, and that's what I thrive off of. It motivates me, and I kind of have this habit of rising to the occasion when I get those opportunities. I plan on continuing that trend.
Do you feel much more confident in yourself entering the UFC now, let's say compared to 5 years ago?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And the Gafarov fight was important for a lot of reasons. I got to really get pushed to my limit because that was a tough fight. Nobody's really pushed me like that before. So I got, to feel what that was like. And, I was confident in myself, but being able to beat somebody that high level, I just knew I was ready. You always think you're ready, you feel ready, But I kind of just cemented it in my own mind, and I just reminded me all the things I've been doing, all the hard training. I'm doing it right. I'm not making mistakes. I don't need to switch things up. It's like you're doing the right things because you're beating the right guys. So all it did was just give me a good confidence boost and help me put the pedal to the metal even more in my training and getting ready for this next fight.
Yeah, you get to put the stamp on it, man, in front of everybody, right? Even Dana White,
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
company.
For sure, for sure. I think this fight is a great opportunity to kind of showcase some of what I do best. A lot of my striking in my fights is how I get a lot of my finishes, and I have a lot of fun in there and a fan-friendly style. That Gavrov fight, it was just about getting through the fight because that's his style too, and I knew it. It's kind of like once you check that box, like I can deal with that type of guy. Then I know that I can handle all these other opportunities. It's just the fight is it's really awesome. The Gavrov fight, I got to show a lot. And then this fight, I'm going to get to show a lot of the other side of what I do too. I really think that Jesse likes to stand and trade a lot, and it's going to be exciting. So I'm loving it.
Yeah, definitely a good matchup, and in a quick turnaround compared to your last fight where you had to wait almost 2 years. It must feel really good to be able to have something quick. You know what I mean? Because I know that once you got signed, there was a long waiting list to get booked, right? So you probably understood that, right, when you left the Contender Series.
Yeah, for sure. Like I don't know. It's like it's different because I know the opportunities are going to be there. It's like I kind of joke about it at the gym because a lot of our younger guys are struggling with the same thing. They can't really get fights right now, and I just kind of joke and tell them like, hey, all I gotta do is make the UFC, and it's a lot easier because there's events that's happening. Like you're going to get fights, so it makes you stay in the gym more. When you're fighting regionally, it's like, what are you in the gym for every day? It's like, oh, just in case. Well, just in case is now, years apart between events. So it was getting difficult, but now I just feel like it's my job now. Like that's what I love so much about it. It's just like, this is what I do every day, and it helps keep me motivated.
Did you go back to Canada immediately after the Contender Series, or did you stay around Vegas and train a little bit?
No, I went back because I actually had to go fairly early. I was there like 16, 17 days early, and had to be quarantined in the hotel room, and like not even, the Fight Week hotel. I was in the one across the street that was just like sitting on the edge of a bed, eating my meals every day, and I couldn't leave because I had to shoot some promo videos, and they needed a certain time to like put them out, but they didn't want to risk flying me in and flying me back out. That's what they did with almost everybody else. But me and actually my opponent Gavrov, we both had to fly in way early and then just sit around. So no, I wanted to get home, so I took home. I was on a flight the next day.
So, how long after that, after you get home, did you get into the training camp for this one?
I took a pretty good break. I was really committed to that training camp for the Contenders fight. So, when that happens, you have to put a lot of your life on hold. And me and my girlfriend, we bought a new house, and we were doing some rental work, and there were just things that I had to catch up on, as part of my daily life stuff. I had to recommit a bit at work because I'd taken a lot of time away to train. So I kind of just recommitted for a couple months, and then I've known about this fight for quite a while. And I kind of had to ease in because, you get so excited when you sign a fight and you just want to go pedal to the metal right away. But I did it the right way, and I kind of slowly ramped up my camp. But I've been training hard for 12 hard weeks. I'm definitely as prepared as I can be for the fight.
Renovation work, man, that could be hectic, man. That's like active recovery, right?
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. It was not easy, and it was I call it taking a break, but no, that was harder. Getting back in the gym was a little bit nicer.
That's good, man. 12 weeks is a very good camp right there, and I know that you're at Champions Creed. Your teammate is actually fighting this weekend or next week? This weekend, right?
Yeah,
In a couple of days.
Yeah, this Saturday. Yeah, this Saturday.
How was it?
So
you're in the grind with him then.
Yeah, that worked out perfect because we're both training hard, pushing similar timelines, and just how it works in training camp too. And you got two guys that are at the higher level pushing each other, and we both want to win, and we both want to push ourselves in the round. So like it was winning combination for sure, and it's a huge benefit to me too because Akeem's bigger and he's got a lot of experience. He's one of the absolutely best in the world. So when I put my work in and I get all my rounds in with Akeem, I'm not worried about the fight. I know I'm going to be ready.
Intense individual right there, Akeem.
Yeah, that's how he trains. That's just how he lives his life, man. He's awesome though. He's a real leader at our gym. So you know you're doing the right stuff because that's what Akeem is in there doing every day. So
Definitely. And you're not a spring chicken compared to the other guys getting signed by the Contender Series. They're in their early 20s. You're 35. Do you feel like there is a sense of urgency for you to like just knock off anybody that you can and continuously fight, even maybe even short notice? You know what I mean? Like you got to get fights in.
yeah, I'm kind of on the edge of it because I feel that way too. It's like I just want to go. I just want to get these fights. I want to build momentum. I want to have everything happen fast, but it still has to make sense. And my coach kind of has to slow my roll sometimes too because that's how I think about it. Like, oh, let's go, let's go. And it takes time, but things can still happen quickly for you. A year seems like it's a long time, but you get a couple good fights in, a couple good wins. You continue to get better. All those things. I mean, I have a bit of an advantage. Some of the younger guys that get signed, I feel like they still need to get their feet wet a little bit, and they need some growing time. But I know, I got my debut coming up in a couple of weeks, but I know I'm ready already. I don't need to have a big layoff in between fights to, get my grappling up to speed or get this up to speed. I know I'm ready now. So yes, I can say yes to opportunities, but I'm not being reckless. I still feel great and I'm totally rejuvenated. I mean, getting to the UFC now later in life, it's instead of being like, oh man, I wish it would have happened earlier. All it does is just give me that fire again. And I've got all the skills and all the physical to go with it, but it's just nice to kind of get that extra motivation again from training for so long. And I think it's a good combination. Like I'm a really dangerous person right now. I mean, I got a lot of skills, I got a lot of experience, and I feel like I'm a young fighter. Like I feel like I'm hungry. I feel 0-0, going into the UFC. So it's yeah, I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, that's a great mental state too, to enter a new promotion thinking you're 0-0. It's like, okay, this
Mm-hmm.
is where my career starts now and, everything counts. So, yeah, it's
Yeah,
like you said,
exactly. Yeah,
dangerous,
exactly. It feels
dangerous.
fresh. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel
So
fresh. Feel
yeah,
ready.
so with Strader, man, how do you see this fight playing out in your mind when you lay your head down on your pillow?
I'm going to tire him out, then I'm going to take him out. I'm going to use my experience. I'm going to use my pressure. I got to deal with some of his skills early on, but I know that I'm going to be overcoming them. And I'm going to kind of just be slowly adding on to that gas pedal until he just can't keep up. So I'm excited because I feel really confident everywhere. I don't feel like I have to get a takedown or I have to stop a takedown or I have to do that. I just feel like I can go in there, be me, and it's just going to go great. I've trained so hard to make sure nothing stupid happens to me in there. And I'm just going to go in there and kind of let my skills do the talking. But I'm going to have too much for him. He's going to get knocked out or he's going to end up shooting in and getting tapped out, beat up on the ground. I just, I've seen it so many different ways because I got so many paths to victory. It's a good feeling.
So your mentality is like you got 15 minutes to finish the fight. You're not in a rush.
Yeah. Yeah, no, no, I'm not in a rush at all. If anything, I'm gonna go in there and just fight the fight at my pace till I see the things I want to see. I don't have to rush anything. Yeah, it's kind of a good feeling. I do feel like I'm more skilled, and skill just takes a little bit more time, and it's gonna take over the fight. It always does. So yeah, I'm feeling confident.
All right. A few more questions, man. MMA fans, they're the best, they're the worst, they're the craziest. What do MMA fans obsess about too much that fighters really don't care about?
That's a good question. It's always the next fight. All fans care about is matching people up. This guy should fight this guy. This guy should fight this guy. I feel like nobody ever goes back and appreciates some of the great fights that guys are putting on, and or letting guys, kind of bask in the victory. MMA media, even the night after your fight, the first thing they're asking you is what's next. What's next? It's like, what about right now? I mean, that was a big moment. So yeah, I feel like everybody's just already always trying to go and what's next and match make. And yeah, sometimes it's nice to just enjoy what you just did, or look back on some of the great fights. And yeah, that's kind of what I feel like. I feel like everybody's pretty fast to want to see what's happening next.
We should live in the moment and give praise in the
Yeah,
moment, right?
yeah, exactly. Like that's, even after my last fight, it's like, you get everybody's happy for you, but it's like the first questions are, who do you think you're gonna fight in the UFC? When do you think you'll make your debut? It's like, oh my God, I'm still having my first beer after the win. So yeah, I like to slow it down after the fight.
Yeah, for sure. PTSD in combat sports, not CTE, PTSD from like injuries or weight cuts or even like losses or damages or damage taken in a fight. Have you went through this yourself and overcame it, or have you seen this in other fighters?
Yeah, I've definitely seen it in other fighters. Weight cut is a big one. Guys get so worried about a weight cut and what I should do and what I should eat, and is my weight cut going good or going bad? Because they've probably had one time where they went out there and they felt really flat or couldn't get it going. But for me, it's the opposite. I had to fight really sick once. Like I woke up, I couldn't even lift my head off the pillow until we were driving to the event. I didn't warm up because I knew I had no energy, and I still went out there and won the fight. And it's just kind of like another reminder that the fight is this small thing, and all the other stuff around is all this distractions. You know how to fight, you know how to do your thing. So I think it's actually worked the opposite for me. Even though I've had bad nights, I broke my arm in a fight once in one of my earlier fights and lost, and it was so frustrating. But even like looking back, I'm still glad I fought. I'm still glad I did what I did that night. So even the worst nights aren't so bad. I don't know. I feel like I have a different outlook on it. I don't get too beat up about it, but I know fighters that do. So I guess I'm pretty lucky that way.
Yeah, definitely. And one last one, Kevin Lee, he got cut by the UFC or released by the UFC, and Eagle FC signed him. Now they're going to pay him in crypto. And I believe also there's a promotion in Canada that's going to be doing this, paying fighters in crypto. What are your thoughts on cryptocurrency, and would you ever want to be paid your fight purse in crypto?
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know enough about crypto to really have an opinion because it's not really my wheelhouse, but I know I certainly wouldn't be taking payment in something I don't fully understand. So I take my payment in money, real money, U.S. or Canadian, I guess, is about as diverse as I get for payment. But I mean, it's exciting times. It's always fun with new things, new ways to make money. NFTs, all these things. It's exciting, but it's a risk reward thing. I mean, the guys that take those big risks, they could end up with huge rewards. But I'm definitely not going to end up regretting it. I'll take the money.
cash, right?
Yeah, exactly. Cash is king. It always will be. So.
For sure. Well, Chad, man, enjoy the chat. February 19th, UFC Fight Night, back in Las Vegas, back in the Apex. Thank you so much for the time, man. Good luck on the fight.
Appreciate it. Thanks, man.